Good morning, guys. So, in the past class means yesterday class also, and on the Sunday class, I was covering the basics of Python, but many of you actually have given the review like I was going fast on the Sunday batches. So yesterday actually I have gone to very slow session, and actually I have declared everything in the. This is actually the only file which I have shared with everyone, and you guys will be actually. Good morning, Prakash. So this is the file in which actually I have written it, whatever actually I have covered till now in the basics of Python. So I actually have divided all the learnings in the terms of, you can say, coding, so that you will actually understand it, what exactly we are going through it and where it would be used more. Okay. So in the past class, the very first things actually when we were reading this particular book, Basics, the very first chapter of this, we were actually learning it, how people used to do the commenting. It means you can say programmer used to do the commenting while designing the program or writing the program multiple, which consists of 1,000, 2,000 lines. So this is actually the first way, the way I will revise the 15-minute session today. Okay. This is the way we will be used to comment the lines before declaring any variable or trying to say what exactly our program is doing it in this. My voice is echoing. Okay. Is it actually everyone is facing the same way? Guys, can you check? Devendra, I will just check it out one more time by putting the headphones. Now, or still it's echoing?
No, sir, actually, I'm listening two voices. I'm actually listening to voices.
Only you are getting it, or actually anyone else? No, it's fine. Then please try to disconnect your headphones and connect it again. Or
No, actually, I'm not on headphones. I'm on
then
Apple
try to
system.
join the session again, because you are only the facing that issue. Everyone is actually getting the fine. So can you just rejoin
So,
your session or check it out with your side? Devinder, or other people are not getting that issue. So please check it out your side, because I don't think so it's from a problem from my side.
I'll do one thing. I will leave it and rejoin it.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Yes, check it out. And please try to close your Zoom and then rejoin it. Okay, do that way. Yeah. So what exactly happened? This is the way we used to actually do the commenting in the single line by putting the hash symbol. Whatever you put it before, after the hash symbol, it is considered actually as a commenting. Like this is the way. If I will put it hash, Python will consider actually this very line is actually as a comment. Okay. If you do not wanted to execute this line, you can put the comment before that. If you wanted to consider that actually as a line, then remove the comment. Okay, remove the hash symbol. This was the one method. Second method was using the triple quotes for doing the multi-line commenting. Okay. This is actually, you can use the triple quotes in the double, like this is double quotes 3 times in the starting before beginning, and double quotes in 3 times by when you are actually ending with your commenting. This is just actually the simple way of actually writing the comments while writing the program. This was the same way. In place of double quotes, we are writing the single quote 3 times, and single quote in the ending. It would be in the starting and it would be in the ending. So this all will be considered actually as a commenting. After that, on that day, we were actually discussing about it. How can we declare the variable? What are the variables available in the Python languages? So we can declare the integer variables. Integer is nothing but actually called the whole numbers. Okay, whole numbers, which is minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, that way. It would be actually the range is not defined, and they in the just like the people who already know the high level languages, there is a difference. In Python, there is no like integer long or long something like that. All the limit ranges, integer does not actually have a very small range. The whatever is a maximum length is available with the integer range in the Python. Earlier in the other high level languages like C or C++, there are multiple kinds of whole number can be represented into the integers, long, it is actually the range would be differ. Like after certain, if the value is very big, you cannot save it into the integer in these languages. Okay, long, long, long. That is actually the way of multiple variables are there in a high level languages. In Python, only one variable is there, that is called integer, which will consist till the very high level language. Okay, like very high limit actually. Devinder, you are asking something? Please tell me. You are raising the hand, Devinder. So this is actually the range. Okay. In the Python, actually, yes, you are raising the hand. Please let me know. You are again raising it. Muhammad Rumi also raising the hand. I am just actually giving you the talking permit. Banita, I just gave you the permit. Bhushan, I gave you the permit. Hari, also I gave you the permit.
Yes, sir.
Everyone.
Actually, I was raising my hand because of unmuting myself.
Okay, okay.
That's
No.
why. So it's fine now.
Yeah. So you can see Python range is very big early, like for integer range. Okay. So till this particular value, you can save it into the integer. Otherwise, what exactly happen after this range? It is knowledge which I am talking about it right now. After beyond this particular value, if you save the number, it will not be actually saved into that particular variable. It will be again reversed back. I will just show you. This is actually the range of the Python variable, integer variable. Okay, like now this is actually the range. Okay, integer range in the Python. What do you mean by range? I will just tell you. Range is something like here. This is actually the value. Suppose I will just save a variable a, which is bigger than this particular range value. Okay, like let me just do that 50 here. So when you just print this, let me just check how much, what is this printing? It is printing correctly, but why this is actually saying this? This represent number in this range. Wait a minute. The range may be larger on the different machine with the different natural word size. So this is not the perfect answer. Okay. So Python range is different the way they were just saying it. This is just actually the range. This is actually with the different 32-bit machine. Mine is 64-bit machine. So I cannot say this is actually they are defining it according to C value. Okay. This would be the highest value for this. Just checking this. So what exactly happened? What would be the integer highest value which you can save it in a variable? So there is actually in the Python, there are certain things which I wanted to actually tell you later, but right now I actually have to tell you because it is coming. In Python language, there are certain functionality which is already implemented. Okay, which is already implemented and given it to you, already implemented and given it to you, actually given it to you to use as modules. Okay, in the Python there are many things called modules. How people actually use the module, like there is a very standard module in the Python called sys module. Sys is actually the module. How we will use the module, actually how to use the module. Like I just wanted to use the sys module. For using the module, you need to import the module. Okay, this is actually I am telling you, you actually have to write import and then module name. So this is actually the standard import and then module name. This is actually the way of using any module. Like imports, there is actually these are the standard module. I am just writing it here. There are certain standard module which is given with the Python language only. Okay, standard modules which is available, like called sys OS. This is system module, operating system module, and math module. These are actually all available with the language only. But whenever you wanted to use this functionality, means there are certain functions. Like I will just tell you, like I will give you example of square root. Okay, square root function is given in the math module. You can directly find out any integer numbers square root, but before using that square root function, you need to import that particular module from the system which is already available. So how we will do that? Import sys. Okay, like import math, like import OS. Any module you can import it by writing import before the name of the module. Okay, so right now suppose you wanted to find out the square root. Okay, so how do I know which functions are available over here in this particular module? For checking the functions available in the modules, we used to actually can do the search by default over here, like Python, math, module. By default, if you search it out, they will give you the full information, what is actually available, which kind of functions are there. But online is not the criteria. I was looking at it, how do I want to search it, what is available. So there is something called help function in Python. Okay, we can use the help function to see the functionality available in the module. Okay, so help on the maths. Okay, I imported that particular module. I am looking at the functionality which is available in the maths. Okay, so what is this actually? It will print. It will print or you can say display the information, or you can say information or documentation of math module. Okay, these are the way. So you can just see, I am seeing the this is actually documentation. So in that, what are the functions available? You can see a cos, a cosine. Actually, this is a cos function, a cosine function, and cosine hyperbolic function, a sine function, a sine hyperbolic function, a tan function, a tan 2 function, and tan hyperbolic function, ceil function. This is a combination. This, I don't know, I never used this particular function, but there are many functions which is available. But for us, I was just looking at it the right now, square root module. Okay, square root function. So I'm going down there. This is called the square root of actually a function, sqrt. Okay, so once you actually import the module, how we will actually able to see that? We will able to see the information by printing the help on this. But I wanted to check it out, math.sqrt. Suppose you wanted to take a square root of 64. You know already 8 answer is. You can just check it
So
out.
can you explain again the help part? Where can we check? You said.
Yeah, it is written here. Help function to see the functionality of available in the module. So when you click
Okay, okay,
help and the module name, you can just write it here.
okay.
Again, that's the reason I am writing it so that you can read it again. Help, after that in that module name here. So this will give you the documentation about the particular module. So the way I will just actually executing it, I was getting it the math module detail, whatever is in your Python version, whatever detail is available, it is given over here, all the details. Okay, you can check it out, this help function also online. Online also, they are giving you the documentation of the particular module. You can just see right now, I was just checking it out. Help on sys function. Let's see, sys module. Okay, help on sys module in Python. Okay, just write this. You can just see this will be actually telling you what are the details and what are the sys module and what are the things, how can you use it. There are many more details. This is not the documentation, but documentation should be here. This is actually the documentation of the sys module. Okay, these are the functions available in the sys module. Everything would be given online, but I'll ask you not to check online. Always check it out in your local interface, whatever functions or whatever detail you are looking at it. Like I just wanted to check it out, what is a square root module. Okay, math.sqrt. Sqrt. So it will tell me what is the detail about it. Okay, so help function in the square root module, square root will return the square root of x, whatever x value we will pass. So this is just actually the general fundamental which I actually told you. Why it was I told you this? Because I was going somewhere there, they were actually using the sys module. For what? For the integer range. I was checking it out, integer range, right? So this sys module is by default system module, which is actually given to us. I was looking at it, this detail. Okay, I was just looking at it, sys dot max integer value. What is this max integer value in my system? Sys module was not printed. 6 actually has no max integer, which they are talking about it here. Okay, so I need to check it out, my sys module right now. So how I will check it out? Help on sys. Okay, I just checking this. This will open this. So what I was looking at it, I was looking at it max size, not about this. I'm talking about my integer size. Okay, they are not giving me here. So I search it out over here, integer. It is not allowing me to search. So in that particular way, I was not able to search because it is showing me the full documentation. In the Python 3, here it is very easy for me. Sys help sys. Same thing, I'm just doing it in my terminal. So what I was looking at it, max int. Max int is not there, integer. So this is actually the hex version integer. Sorry, not this one, please. Here. This is actually version information encoded in a single integer, not this information. Second one, it is a skipping. It is a status of the integer. I am checking this integer keyword right now. It is a status of the integer. This is are the two things. So get integer max. So I think so that that particular variable which they are actually telling us over there, it is removed from the documentation. So we are not able to find it. No, I am not able to find it, that particular thing. Platform identifier max independent, it is not there. So whatever they were actually saying it is not there. So maybe this documentation is how old, I did not know. This is 2015 documentation about the integer functions. Okay, so I can't say anything over here because it's different. There is a one key concept which I wanted to tell you. You guys always know, like in Python, there are many modules available. Okay, I told you earlier only there are many modules available. But do you guys know how these modules are coded in the Python? Python is a language. Okay, just generalization. This is a general information for you. General learning. Okay, you can say Python language is written in C or C++. Okay, like it is a language which is written in the high level language. Okay, this compiler for this particular thing, compiler, or you can say interpreter. Okay, Python language, you can call it interpreter, written in C and C++. So many modules means internal, like inbuilt module. I'm just talking about it. Inbuilt module means just like example is sys or OS. These modules are written in high level language like C. Good morning, sir. I just logged in. Hope I have not missed anything. Iman, you didn't miss anything. We are just actually just talking about journal. I will just go through it. I was just revising the previous concept. So Python language interpreter is written in a C or C++. Okay. Many modules, they're like sys inbuilt modules, sys OS are written in a high level language. Why? Because of the performance. Okay. Higher performance, they actually have written it. Otherwise, what exactly other modules, like other modules are written in the same Python language only. Okay, in the Python language, whatever module you will explicitly install, right? Like I was talking about it,
So
we are
does it
gonna read.
mean does it
Yes.
mean that the import library for Python will have the C syntax, or will it
No,
still?
it will be actually having the syntax actually as Python only, but you are just using the functionality. Internal functionality of the functions are written in that way. Like you are right now using it this, right? What I will just say, sys ar, this is actually in the sys module. Like in sys module, we are going to use that something called command line argument. Okay, command line argument, these are the topic which I will cover it in the late argv. So this particular functionality is written in a C. So they actually just
Mhm.
given you the function, they have just given you outer function to use it, but they are not talking about it how internally they implemented it.
Okay, so the imports will be in Python syntax, calling in the functions which were previously written in C.
They are not previously, they are inbuilt written actually in the C for the time in performance. So you will just, I will just show you once we know the Python language. I will show you the timing actually. The code you will write in a Python, the code you will write in a C. How much time comparisons are there and why other languages or high level language was actually better, because it was taking too much time to write it. Python is a very simple language. It is actually very easy, and actually it will do the will do the coding very fast. Suppose I am fighting for a competition in which 2 hours I have to do the coding. So what actually I will always choose it Python actually as my language for participation. Why? I do not need to declare the variables. I do not need to spend time in a declaration and doing that. So in Python directly you can use the variable without declaration. Okay, so those are the many benefits in the while using the Python. So Abdul is asking what are the abbreviations sys means. Sys means system. Sys actually is nothing but actually a system module. Okay. They are written it in such a way abbreviation so that you can use it shortly. OS is operating system. They are using it just OS module. Okay. So these are the actually many functionality we will use it when we will see it. But I was just actually talking about this because they were actually using it max int information, which we are not getting it right now because this information was changed over the time when they actually implemented the higher version of Python. Okay. So we was not able to tell it. I will just cover this information again when we will come to the module topic. Okay. So do not worry about it, what actually I'm talking
Yeah,
about it. This will be
I was
again
not
covered.
fully, yeah, I was
No,
not
no, it will
fully
be
clear,
again
but
covered.
yeah,
Yeah,
no worries,
but
no worries.
actually, because I cannot directly use it sys dot maxint, if you will ask what is this, sir, you are using it. So that for that reason, I just given you this
No,
general
I can
knowledge.
understand that sys is import and dot you're calling the methods inside the import.
Methods. Yes, those are
But
the
what I
functions
was,
in the Python.
yeah, what I was not clear was how have they been designing C methods? Because what I'm looking for
Okay, okay.
right now,
I will just tell you very easy part. Okay, which actually as a developer I have to do it. Sometimes we used to write a code in one language and other like, okay, let me just say, suppose I have written some function. Okay, some functionality, some function in C language, and I want to use that function in Python. How can we do that? So this
yeah,
is called
exactly.
the
This is what I'm looking for.
inter-language compatibility, and the changing is required. So there are some things, some libraries are there which will allow us to use the C function over here Python. Like I remember I was using it earlier when I was I went for doing my PhD. That time somebody wrote the C code. I was using it in the MATLAB. So there are inter-language dependency and compatibility. We actually have to find out the library. How can we use the other functionality and get the output actually just like in the Python. So this functionality is already coded in the C. I'm just using it actually as a black box.
Right, right.
Someone will ask what is actually black box. Okay. This is actually the terms which I am writing it actually. So black box is something called a system, or you can say a system where you give input and get output. But you do not know, we do not know what is inside the box. Okay. We are just giving the input from the, like, I will just say black box. If I will just talk about it, someone actually, you ask me to use that particular keyword, otherwise I don't use it. So this is actually the black box. Someone in the coding, something is actually written here. You are just giving the input, getting the output. This is what we call it black box, because we do not know what is inside this particular box. What is inside the functionality is implemented here. We will just get it input and output. Okay. That is what actually is a black box, which he was telling it. So I actually have to use it over here. Actually, we will use that system actually as a black box. I will just tell you this information and these things in the future classes, how we are gonna use it, these things. Okay. So I will just make it actually as a comment. So I will show you the demonstration about this. So why actually I was telling you this? Because of here, when I was saying it, we were declaring the variable. So declaring of the variable integer is there. They were giving this range, but this range is not correct. Python range would be different. I will just show you what would be there for 32-bit machine and for the 64-bit machine. It would be some other way. I will find it out and tell you this information. So this is the way we were declaring the integer variable. Income is a variable name, and I was saving this some value like 265. You can save it. That is the integer variable. How we were saving it, this is actually integer variable. I am printing it and showing this is actually value. There is actually what you call it, boolean variable is also there, in which you can save in the variable name either true or false and just print that information also. Third kind of variable is, it is also there. Sometimes you are actually getting directly saving the boolean variable, but sometimes what exactly happened, we wanted to convert the boolean variable from some variable, like integer variable is there. Can I convert this particular variable actually as a boolean variable? So there is a function call in the Python, which is the inbuilt function, bool function, which is there to define the number actually, the value actually as true or false. So when you call the bool on the 0 value, you will get it false. Otherwise, on whatever value you will call bool function, you will always get it true. Okay. So this was actually, I was defining it about how can we convert the integer variable into the bool variable by calling the bool function. Okay. Another kind of variable is called decimal, what you call it, decimal numbers, okay, which you can call it float or double. This is actually the language according to the high level language, okay. You will be asking what is actually the float and double. Like I will just tell you here, when we save the floating point, or what you call it, not floating point, decimal values, we need the precision bit, okay. Precision means the accuracy in the decimal point, okay. The higher the accuracy, higher the accuracies requires more memory in the computer, okay. So for that reason, there are actually float is, you can say, less precision kind of variable, okay, kind of variable, and the double is high precision, okay. These are the two variable which is actually there. This is called the high precision. But in our language, in Python, we actually have only one variable, which is called actually directly the float variable. There is no double, because float is given actually the very high precision value by default. So this is actually according to the high level language. But in Python, we actually have it. I will just check it out. Mohammed and Rumi, you are raising the hand. Just give me 1 minute. In Python, we have only one variable. We have only one variable to save decimal point values, okay, which is known as actually float. Tell me now, I will see the questions. Please unmute me, Gulam, okay. I will just check it out and do that. Yes, Bhushan, Gulam, of all. I unmute everyone. Yeah, tell me. You actually, anyone have a question? Please, if anyone actually has a question, you can actually ask. And what is actually this floating point and what is actually double? I actually told you in a text method, the way you will actually understand it.
Hello,
So,
Sanjay. Am I audible?
yes.
Actually, last class I have missed the 1 hour session due
Okay.
to some reason. So, could you please give me a small recap of that?
Sir, I am just doing the recap only. There is nothing new. I am just doing it. I am going from the starting only. It's a revision only.
Okay.
There is nothing new we are doing it. It's all old revision, all old written things. So these are the decimal point numbers, which you can call it actually as just actually as a float in Python. Like if you just try to print the type of actually, you can actually call the type of the price variable. It will tell you what is this particular data type of this. It's a float, okay. It's the same thing over here. When I was typing it, print type of integer income, you can just see it's an integer type class variable, okay. I was calling it is integer. And even if you print it type of flag here, flag or condition, whatever you can call it, and it is, you can just see it's a boolean kind of class, boolean kind of data variable. So any data variable you are just assigning it, you can print that particular class, in which class that particular variable is declared. So I was just telling you, in the Python, there is no double. Everything is actually the float only. So in the Python, by default, they have given it float actually as a very high value of precision. So that's the way they actually have only floating class. After that, what exactly happened? There is another data type called string in the Python. A string can be declared with the double quotes or with the single quotes. You can just see right now, I'm just using it double quotes also and single quotes also. This is the way we can declare the string. This is just actually the variable. Okay. Question and answer, someone. Sir, what are the negative NOS? How negative numbers are also stored actually as an integer? How they will be actually stored? Kalpana, you are actually asking what exactly happened. This is actually you are talking about little bit in much detail how the computer is saving. I will just tell you actually as a general concept here. In Python, in computer, okay, we will save. We actually have something called, I will just say, let me just give you some example. Number plus 8 and minus 8, okay. And I'm using it in computer right now, like in from my system design. I'm just telling you, I am designing a system which is using the 8-bit memory to save the number, okay. So right now, 8 variable in decimal, in 8 is actually in binary, it is actually called 100, okay. So when I will just say I wanted to represent plus 8 in the memory of the 8 bit, how I will represent it? I will write it first 4, okay, and then next 4. In the next 4 would be 100. So this is actually plus 8. How I will be able to represent it actually minus 8? This is called actually we will actually save the this is used to call it actually simple binary. Negative numbers in computer are saved in the 2's complement. So for that you need to understand it what is 1's complement also. So there are two concepts here in the binary if you are asking it, what is like 1's complement and 2's complement. What is 1's complement? What is 2's complement? Okay. So you are actually asking, that's the reason I have to tell you. If you actually have some number here, if you reverse the digit, then it is called the 1's complement. Okay, like if you what you convert this actually as 0, and 0 would be converted actually as 1. Okay, here 1 1. So this is actually the 1's complement of the 8 value in the integer, like this is actually in the binary. So this is actually the 8 value 1's complement. How you will actually convert the 2's complement? If you actually add in the 1's complement plus 1, you will do that, then you will get it 2's complement. This is actually as a number system actually in the computer when we read it. So when you actually add it plus 1 over here, so what exactly it will do that? It will by default convert it into the, this is actually 2's complement of the 8 value. Okay. But in computers, like different systems are there, the very first digit is actually used actually as a sign bit. Okay. In many computers, first bit of the memory is actually used actually as a sign bit. For the positive numbers, sign bit is actually 0, and for negative numbers, sign bit is 1. You are asking the computer science custom, that's the reason I actually have to tell you. So if you just actually talk about this here, it would be 1. Otherwise, it would be the same value actually in the 2's complement. So this value would be 1, which will actually specify to the computer that your value is negative 8. Okay. So if it actually answered your question, because there are many things you need to learn it if you are actually thinking about it. Number system in digital design. Okay. Digital systems. This is actually the books which I used to follow. So like I will just say positive 8, and like I will just say binary 1's complement and 2's complement. Okay, these are just actually the things which you wanted to read it. 1's complement of binary number and 2's complement, how can you find it? What are the actually differences? This is the way we will save the numbers. Okay, they were actually giving it for plus 8 and plus minus 8. This is actually the value and information which you can read it more later. Okay, I'm just giving you the text. Yeah, no issue. You are actually asking, it's a good curiosity, so it's not the issue. Just go through the concept which is actually there, okay, about how we will save it in the computer. So what we were actually going through it right now, this is actually just a detail. I may actually keep it actually as a what you call it, not the, so it will not actually give me the error. Okay, so what we were declaring it here, how can we save the string with the double quotes also, with the single quotes also. So we were saving this particular string here. You can just see this is actually again the string, and name is actually saved actually as a ABC, this particular string. Okay, this one. String also can be accessed with the indices. Okay, like this one, anything, any character in this string, you can access it with the index value. Okay, the index value would be either this or that actually. Okay, so how can you do that? You can actually access it with the indices. Indices are actually stored actually as the length, how many indices are there. So these indices, if you just see, let me just write it here so that you will understand it. If this is my string, this will be, can be accessed actually as, this is a 0 value, 0 1 2 3 4 5, 6. These are the indices actually, the way I can access each character. So you can just see when I'm writing the variable name, I'm just getting full string. When I am saying it name square bracket 0, then I'm accessing this A value. You can just see this here, small a, small s. These are the characters which I am getting it. A, S, T, A, S. Okay. Everything actually according to the, you can say till 5 I am getting it. After that we are getting it 6, 6 also I am getting it. Okay. So these are the indices you can access it. If you are going beyond this index, you will get it error. Like I'm just going to copy this here and doing that 7. Beyond the string length, if you try to access it, you will get the error called string index out of range. So how do I measure it? What is the length of my string? So there is an inbuilt method in the Python. Okay, this function is called what? This is actually the function, inbuilt function called len. Okay, len function. What it does, it will measure the length of string. Okay, like len of name. What you will get it? You will get it directly 7. This is actually the len. This is the length of this particular string is 7 right now. So len is a function in which you have to pass the string, which variable which you wanted to compute it. Suppose I just wanted to measure the length of hello world. Okay, so what is my length of hello world total string? 11. You can see this is a 5 character, this is a 5 character, and there is a space. So total number of 11 character in the string. Oh, Abdul, I have downloaded the Python. Please at the end, could you go through the and make sure it is working for me? I haven't completed the setup. Sorry, I meant Anaconda. You could please start your Anaconda, Abdul. If it is started and check it out if Jupyter is working, then it's fine. Just actually open that Anaconda because it will take again 15 minutes. So I do not want you to wait in the last. So just start it right away. And then I will check it out in the last. Thank you, Abdul. Yeah. So what I was just doing it, you understand it right now. This is the way we can measure the any string length. Okay. This is just actually the way I was telling you how we will use the len function in future. So this concept is right now cleared. Okay. Now I am going here. So suppose you wanted to declare a string which is actually multi-line string. How you will do that? You can go with declaration with a single quote or double quotes. But if you do not use this particular thing, you will get the error. Just see this here, this error, you will get the error. Means this string is not ended here. So unterminated means you did not terminate the string here. This is what the error is saying right now. Okay, so what exactly you need to do it? If you are wanted to write a multi-line string, you actually have to use some concept called escape sequence. I have written it something on the top here. Escape sequence is a character, this slash, is used for the multi-line string declaration or single quote strings. Okay. Right now, I was just doing this particular thing here. So if you actually enter this particular character, your error is gone right now. You can just see your error is gone. Everywhere, when you are trying to type the new line, you are just putting this particular character. This character is telling interpreter, this line is not ended. It is still in the continuation in the next line. So for that reason, I was using this particular character known as escape sequence. Okay, here. So this is actually the fundamental of declaring the multi-line statement by the single quotes or double quotes. Both way is actually fine. Okay. This is I was just doing it with the single quote. This is I am doing it with the double quotes. Both way you actually have to use the escape sequence. Okay. There are other method also. You can use a multi-line statement or declaration by using the triple quotes. This paragraph I was writing it, I used triple quotes. So I do not need to use the escape sequence. Without escape sequence, you can use the triple quotes. It will declare my statement in the multi-line comment and I can print it also. You can just see. Okay. This is the second way of actually using the multi-line statements actually or string declaration. Now, this is actually the question. Suppose you are typing a question which you wanted to ask from the user. So you wrote a question, what's your name? If you do not put this character, this is actually a error in the Python because you started with the single quotes and you are using this apostrophe as here. Okay, so it is telling Python interpreter your line is actually ended here after the what is this actually extra line here that they are not able to understand it. So if you just say this is not the ending of my line, how could you do that? You will put the escape sequence character. Okay, here. Then this is the perfectly fine. This is the either this way you will use it, or you can directly use the double quotes. Then there is no need of actually putting the escape sequence. But suppose you are hell-bent of using the single quote, then you actually have to use the escape sequence. Otherwise, second method is also good. You can use the double quotes directly, so there is no issue. I got it, Abdul. That's okay. Okay. Now, what exactly happen in a Python? Anytime whenever we will go, we will actually gonna write the codes. We will be using many print statements, many places. So this was actually the print statement before Python 3. This was actually the way print statement used to print the string. This was a method, but this is not required right now. But I am teaching it because it is just you should know you should have a knowledge when what was the syntax of Python 2. That's the reason I was just doing it here. Okay. So if you are not using the Python 2 syntax, let's go for the Python 3 syntax. In the Python 3 syntax, these are the two variable I declared it in the code, name and age. I am printing statement in the double quotes. Print is a function actually. The function requires a round bracket of starting and ending. And then this is a string. I am printing it, but I wanted to print these variables. So the way in Python 3, we used to use the curly braces to print these variables. Okay, I was printing name here and the age here. Okay, so what exactly happened? It requires a dot format function. A dot format function will tell where this in this particular bracket how you actually have to substitute these variables. Okay, so name was the first variable, it was substitute here. Age was the second variable, it was substitute here. Okay, so this is the method. You can just see if you execute it, you are getting this particular result. Okay, if you wanted to actually have a multiple argument, you do not know where it actually has to go. Suppose age has to go here, name has to go there. So what you will do, we can also number it with the sequencing, with the indexing. This is the zero index, this is the first index. Okay, zero index is the very first variable, is always zero index. So you can just see this is actually name is zero index, so I put it 0, and age is a 1 index, so I can put it that way also. It also works. Someone actually defined in this way also, it is actually perfectly fine. Now, suppose if you do not wanted to do in that way, why 1 or 0 is there. Suppose you wrote it in a different format, like you have written age first and name later. But my printing statement is already this way. So what exactly happened? Age should go over where this place is, this place. So what is my age index? 0. It is 0 index because I started the first variable will be given actually as a 0 index. So I'm writing it 0 here. Name is actually the 1 index value. So I wrote it 1 here right now. Okay. So this way also it works. So why actually this syntax was developed? Because sometimes whenever we are passing the multiple argument to this particular function, you have to tell what this particular variable is. It is going into the 0th position here. So this is also fine. But what exactly happened later over the time, they were actually able to do one more thing. These are just actually the variable. Actually, this is a string variable. This is an integer variable. All the print statement which you have learned it till so far is actually integer and string variable. Suppose you actually have this variable called string variable and the float variable. Okay, you are typing it. The cost of this item is okay. So this is what actually we are typing it right now, and you can just see cost of this item. The item is actually the very first one will go here, and second item will be gone here. So what exactly happened if you do not print any information? Let me just do that in that way. Okay, I did not write anything. The same way I was just doing it. Either you can do it 0, you can do it 1 here, 0 or 1, something like that. No issue, or without total. You can just see the output. You are getting this output. Okay, perfectly fine right now. But sometime what exactly happen? People for the floating point number, sometime people say, I just wanted to print only 2 decimal point result, because that is what actually I am looking at it. So how can we do that? There is a method called colon. Colon will specify what variable you are going to put it and how many digits you needed it over here. Okay. So I am just looking at it. I am just telling it, I just need 2 digit after the decimal point. After dot, you can see I am just writing it 2. So it is telling the Python interpreter, I want 2 digit after the decimal point. So let me just type it both places the same thing. Okay. Then you can just see the result right now. You are getting, what is the issue? Wait a minute. Yes. Okay, sorry. This one. So you can just see, I am just, when I typed it 0.2 decimal, it is actually printing this particular variable actually as 1.2 into 10 to the power 1 actually. Okay. It actually shifted it. So it's a +1 only. Okay. This is the way we can write this particular decimal point, right? This is actually according to method. But in the Python, 10 to the power is written actually in terms of e to the power plus 0, 1. Okay. E to the power 1 actually. They are writing it. They are printing it just like 0, 1. No issue. So this is what they are printing it. The way I was looking at it, this is my expected result. Okay. This is what expected result for my floating point number. Okay. So I was looking at till 2 decimal point. I was just getting it. Okay. Now you can just see what exactly happened. It requires a dot format function. But what exactly happened, people in the developing who is actually keep on enhancing the Python interpreter, those community actually thought about it and they were thinking it's a jargon to write it every time dot format and all the argument. It was taking it the language more complex. Can we optimize it? So what they did, they removed it, this particular dot format function in the future versions. So they actually have introduced another feature called f string. In the f string, what we can do it after Python 3.6, this is we people can use the Python f strings. So f string is nothing but putting the f before this double quotes or single quotes. Okay. So I wrote it f here with the before the double quotes, also before the single quotes, both way. Here you can directly pass the variable in the command line in the curly braces. So it will tell the directly the variable value. If you forget to put f value, what exactly happened? You can just check. If you forget to put f value, it will directly consider this name actually as a constant. Means it's a string part actually. If you put it f here, then it will tell it's a variable which they need to include the variable value. Okay. If you do not put the f, it will be directly a string. Otherwise, it's a directly string values. Okay. So you can just check right now. We got it. The exact same meaning by putting the curly braces. So what exactly happened? You actually eliminated this particular thing. Okay. This particular jargon, which actually we were writing it extra, they have removed it of using this particular thing if you use the f string. Okay. So this is just actually the fundamental which we actually have learned it in the previous classes. After that, we have learned we were using this particular variable name, age, item. These are the things which we were learning it to name the variable. But there was convention how to actually use this particular variable names. So these are the convention which is written in the Python book. Okay. If you read this particular book, it was written here somewhere. There is actually called the variable convention of the writing. Where it is somewhere here. Yeah, this is actually the rules, identifier naming, which I have written it here. So these are the rules. What is the rule? First character should be the letter of alphabet, either uppercase or lowercase, no problem, or Unicode. Okay. But rest of the variables identifier name consist of the uppercase, lowercase, Unicode, underscore, or digit. Identifier names are actually case sensitive. So these are all the names which is actually sensitive. You can just see even this variable name which actually I declared it is still valid because it is actually starting with the alphabet. If you try to declare some variable name with the digit and doing this way, it is actually incorrect. So this is actually invalid. You can just see you got the invalid decimal literal. Okay, so this is not actually acceptable. So these are just actually naming convention, which you can keep on reading it and keep on implementing it. And sometimes you are participating in the Python exams, so they will be actually asking the questions about it, which names are valid. So you can see my name and small my name both are different because this N is capital here. In this M and N both are capital here. So all the variable names are unique right now. All are case sensitive, so do are different. Okay. So this was actually done. Now, in the previous class, I was talking about it. These are the 4 kinds of systems which we will use it in the computer science. Can you just give me 1 minute? I will just bring the water bottle. Just give me 1 minute break. Hi guys. So in the past class, I told you these are the number system which is actually used in our day-to-day life. In the computer science, people actually use it only binary system, but many places when we were actually discussing or when we were designing the computers, we will be actually using the hexadecimal system more often also. So these are just actually the number system. Decimal number system actually use these 10 digits. The way name was given actually because of the number of digits they use it. Decimal means 10, okay, 0 to 9, all 10 digits. Binary means 2, actually 0 and 1. Octal means 8 digit, 0 to 7, they will use it, total 8 number of digit. Hexa means total 16. Hexadecimal, hexa is 6 and decimal is 10, so total 16 digits, okay, from 0 to this. So for 10, they will be representing A, B, C, D, E, F, okay. So this is actually just an example how we will write it actually hexadecimal with the 0x is the starting of all the hexadecimal values, okay. And this is just actually the binary. These are actually integer values. These are the octal values. What are the conversion? When you save any variable in the Python language, actually 128 is written. I can convert that 128 into binary, octal, and hexadecimal. How? You can, with typing it directly the variable here in the F string, you can print it B over here, then it will generate the binary of it. Okay. If you put it O over here, it will generate the octal value of that particular value of the decimal values. Okay. But hexadecimal, you cannot directly print it. So there is actually inbuilt function called inbuilt function. There is an inbuilt function called hex, which will take it decimal value and convert and return the converted hex value. Okay, this is a function, inbuilt function, which we are going to use it here. So I use hex and number was given, so it will generate it 0x80. So you can just see I was able to convert all the value from the decimal to these particular number systems. The same value is represented in the binary in this way, in octal this, in the hexadecimal this way. In the previous class, when we were actually doing it on the last Sunday, I was declaring these are the operators. Okay. What are the operators? I actually have discussed only these 3 operators. One is called the arithmetical operators, assignment operators, assignments operators, and the logical operators. So we are going to revise just those. So arithmetical operators are plus, minus means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. This is called the remainder, or you can call it remainder. Yes, modulus operator, or we call it getting the remainder. This is called the exponential, getting the power of some values. And this is called the quotient or flow division. Okay, just see this here. I declare the variable AB. Okay, and AB summation, I was just doing it by addition, by just doing it A plus symbol B. Result would be saved here, and I am printing it. What is my result? AB summation of 3 and 8 is 11. Subtraction, I am using the minus symbol, and you can see B minus A, 8 minus 3 is actually 5. So this is the way we will be using the minus symbol. Same way for the multiplication, we are using the asterisk symbol. Multiplication of A and B is 24. 3 8s are 24. Division, when we are doing the division, you remember 8 is not fully divisible by 3. So you will be getting something 0.333 decimal point. So this will always return by default the floating point value. Both values are integer value, but your result would be floating point value. So you can just see this here by using this particular operator, slash operator. Okay, this will give you the divide symbol here. The same way we can use the modulus operator. Modulus operator, what it does, it will tell you the remainder after when you divide 8 divided by 3, what would be the remainder? 2 will be the remainder. It will by default divide in 2 times. That is called 8 2s are 6. So remainder would be 2 is left actually. That's what actually it is showing. This is done by the modulus operator. This operator name is modulus operator. Okay. There is an exponential operator which is known as double asterisk. You can do the b double asterisk 8. So what is actually 8 to the power 3? That would be 512. Okay, 8 8s are 64, 64 8s are 512. That is what actually it is. Okay. And now this is the last variable called floor division, which will nothing but actually returning the quotient. 3 2s are 6 and 2 was remainder. So how many times you went it? You went it 2 times. So that is what actually is returning is actually as a quotient. Suppose you actually have the variable call here. I will just say 80. Okay, not 80 would be that. Okay, let me just do that 5 and 29. Okay, so when you divide 29 by 5, you will get it quotient 25. 5 are 25. So you will get it 25 here. So what would be the remainder left? Remainder would be 4 value. Okay, so it will divide by the 5 and remainder would be, this was divided by the 5 value and remainder would be 4. So you can just see these answers, which I was just actually applying for these values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Floor division is by default giving you how many times it was dividing. 5 5s are 25. So this is actually the constant value. Remainder would be 4. Okay. So these are all the operators which was actually discussed in the previous classes. I have given the examples here so that you can go through it. These are all the notes. I will share you this particular file. After that, we discussed about the one is called the assignment operator. What is the assignment operator? Equal is the assignment operator. We are already using it from the past to actually assign the variable some value. This A variable is actually storing the integer value. This V variable is storing the integer value, and this name variable is storing the string value. So they are just assigning the variable some value. Okay. So this is called the assignment operator. After that, we actually have also discussed is called logical operators, where these operators will be used when we will be actually working on in future about the conditional statement. But we need to understand it what this operator means. So this operator means here, like they have written it A, B and name again. So logical operators are and or not. X is 6, they are saying it. And statement says, small and statement says, both statements should be true, only then result would be true. Like they are writing it X is 6. X is greater than 3. This is true. Okay, this is true right now. X is greater than 3. X is less than 10. That is also true. So both the statements are true. Only in that case, your result would be true. So this is actually only these two are true, then you are getting it true. Otherwise, X is greater than 7, false. X is less than 10, it is true. So this is false and true, result would be false only. This is false, this is actually false. Both are false, still result is false. This is true and this is false. So still result is false. So this is what just actually trying to show what actually are the condition when both the statements are true, only then this condition is giving you the true result. What exactly happened? 1, 2. Okay, yes, I do not need this, delete. Okay. The same way here in the for the or statement, either of one statement is true. Either means either one of the statement you can say, or I will say my statement was right actually. Either one of the statement is true, result would be true. Only then result would be true. So you can see this was actually already true. This is also true. So your result is true. This is false. This is true. So your result is true. This is false. This is false. So your result is false. This is true. And this is also false. Okay. 6 is less than 5. No. So that is actually for false. This is true. So still your result is true. So this is actually the condition when or statement would be true. Okay. This is just actually we will be using in the future conditions. So we were just telling you how to use the or statement or logical statement. Non-if statement is nothing but actually negation or doing the opposite. X is greater than 3. This is true. When you do the not before that, then you will get it false. X is greater than 10. It is false. When you do the negation, you will get it true. These are just actually in the statement. These will be used in the conditional statement. Conditional statements, actually, if, else, if. These are the things which we will be learning in the future. But I am telling you where it would be used. It will be used future in the conditional statements. Okay. Conditional, I think so. Yeah. Conditional statements, which we were learning in the future. So len function, which I was already written it, what exactly it does it will return, it works on the string data, it will return the length of the string. So I was just printing it. This is my variable and the length of the variable, and accessing by the what you call it, with the indexing. This is called the with the square bracket. If you put the index value, which should be less than the length, then you will be able to print each character one by one. Okay, we are able to print it each character. There are one more things I actually have told it in the Python. String formatting requires it for the different variable. This link is given to you. You can go to this link. It will tell you what are the different ways of doing the float or you can say integer formatting, which I will given you the example in the below also. Here I will just show you, but that before that, what exactly happened, I told you you can print it the floating point value with the 3 decimal point. Okay, if you do not put the F, you are getting it directly with the E. If you put the F, it will be printing it still 3 decimal point. And there are another ways. These are the ways. What exactly happen? You actually have a hello keyword. You wanted to print it this. Okay, in place of spaces, you wanted to put a dash symbol. Okay, so what exactly happened? This symbol, caret symbol, will tell us what would be the formatting. So those formatting I am trying to show you here in this line, this example. See this example, then you will understand it. My name is this, and my father name is Raghuveer, and my age is 34 and my dad age is 74. These are the variable which I declared it. I wanted to format it in a different ways in Python. So this is called the string formatting. So I am printing my name. Okay, f string, I am printing it. I am printing my name variable. This variable means this is a 5 character. I wanted to print it in a 20 characters. So this is what 20 means. I wanted to print this name Kumar into the 20 spaces. Okay. My father name also in the 20 spaces. My digit 32 is actually 2 digit 2 character. I wanted to print it in a 5 characters. And dad age is also, I wanted to print it in a 5 character. This is called the default string, which is a left hand formatting. You can just see this here. If I will print this, you are getting it here. So you can see after each variable printing, I am putting this bar symbol. Okay, everywhere to show you this particular variable use 20 character. Okay, this is a 20 character, this is a 20 character, this is a 5 character, this is a 5 character. You can just see 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, and then it's 2 character. Okay, this is the way. This is a general formatting. In the default print statement, everything, the strings are left-handed formatted and the digits are right-handed formatted. Strings are left-handed formatting means this is, you can call it, what do you call it? Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Yes, you remember this. This is called the alignment, left-hand formatting, center formatting, and right side formatting. Okay. This is actually just a formatting kinds. Okay. The same thing which we are printing it here in the Python. This is actually strings are left-hand formatting means string is starting from the start, but numbers are going from the last right side. Okay. Okay. So this is what you actually have learned it. But can we change this pattern? Yes, we can do that. These patterns was this here. So if you just check it out, if you use you can say a greater than symbol in this makes my name variable go to the right hand formatting. Everywhere I am just forcing it right hand formatting. Okay. So you can just see right now my name was printed in towards the alignment is right hand formatting right now. Okay. So it is perfect right now. The same thing we can do it. Control Z. You can also do it with the left hand formatting. So in that you actually have to do it greater than symbol. Okay, that was less than symbol, and this is actually, I will just say greater than symbol or something. This is called left hand formatting. Right now you can just check it out. All the characters, if you enforce it, everything is going into the left hand alignment. Okay, but suppose you do not wanted to do this, you wanted to say, sir, I wanted to do something called center based formatting. Okay, center center align. Okay, center align. This is left hand align. Okay, and this is right hand align. So center align requires this caret symbol. What is this symbol called? Caret. Okay, so when you do that, you can just see my name was printed in the center. Okay, all the character. This is the center based formatting right now. In this place, after colon, you actually have to print that particular symbol. Sometimes you also people say, this is also in the Python 3, one more thing is there. Suppose for these spaces, this is actually space, right? This space is here. This space is here. You can also specify in the Python, I wanted to fill that space with the some symbol. What symbol it could be? I am using it with the underscore symbol. Okay. If you just put it this underscore before that, what exactly is gonna happen? You can just check. I am putting it over the all the things underscore, and you can just see right now. Of in the place of space, it is using the underscore actually as a symbol, and it is printing in this way. Okay. So I'm putting it underscore, so it is actually one space central line. There is a 1, there is a 2. Okay. So what would I have done it? I would have changed this to 5 to so you can just see right now. Wait a minute, Abdul, 1 minute. I was just doing something. I just actually forgot where it was. It was here. Yes. Here. Okay. So I changed everywhere 5 to 6. So right now, see, I am actually exactly centralized. Actually, I am using certain number of characters. So I was just actually able to centralize it. So this is what they were actually showing it here. They were putting the dash before the caret symbol. So they were putting it hello actually as a underscore hello. Okay. This was, you already actually have seen it, name and book. They were assigning the variable at the same format here. This is also, you can do it. So Abdul, you are raising the hand. You can just tell me what was your question.
Yeah, my question was, suppose you want to a code for changing the size of the text.
How,
You know,
what
like
size? What do you mean by size?
you mean like you know what is written like print f name 20. Say you know the say if any like string like you know you name like say Kumar Raghuveer like increase the size. Is there a code for that, or is that something you're gonna do later?
Size, you can just actually suppose my string is like, I will just give you 1 minute. Courtney, just give me 1 minute. Courtney, Astor, it was that. I forgot the surname actually. Martin. Okay, suppose if this is more than 20 character right now. Can you see this here?
Yeah.
This name is more than 20 character and you are specifying it. So in that case, what exactly happened? You actually already specified the less number of character. It will go with the exact number of character, whatever is a character. So this character length, if I will just try to check it out, it would be more than it is fully occupying it the 20 character, because the this particular length string name, I will just check it out. What is the length of this? It will be more than, I think so, 24 or 22. Let's see how much is it. Is it 22? So if it is less than that, then it will by default occupy full. But this was actually minimum space required. They will say minimum space required is 20. You are specifying the number here, actually minimum space required. But if your number is little more than that, like this is actually 6-digit age. If I will make my age is something like this, more than 6-digit, what will actually happen in that case? It will occupy full space and it will take one more space extra also. You got it?
Sanjay, no, sorry. I think I'm not explained what I was really meant. Like the word Courtney is
Yes.
written, the
Hmm.
size of the text is
Hmm.
like, say, 12 or 13 or 14, the
Hmm.
actual text size. How would you, is there a code for increasing the size of the text, like making the text larger? That's what my question was.
Text larger means you are trying to increase the size of the string.
Yeah. Sorry, that's
How,
what I meant.
what you will do, what if you do not actually have any text character in that, what do you mean by the size of the text? You can, you wanted to actually add it, like I will just tell you, people can
What
do
he's
that.
what he's trying
Yeah.
to say that increase the font size.
No,
Yeah.
there is no nothing font here actually about the printing you are talking about, right?
Okay.
You are talking about the printing for printing. I am not sure that we may be required, but I don't think so actually is anything actually here. You
Okay.
need to do it with the system printing, actually changing in the system size, font size, and those ways.
Right. That's
Okay, that's what you were actually asking. Okay,
yeah.
I got it. So that's perfectly fine here. It's just understanding. So I was just trying to tell you, these are just actually the standard way of formatting, which you can read it onto this particular link. Okay, I have given you the link in the document. Please, after the class, because they will be talking about many more detail like this. I maybe not be covering it only when actually I get the coding and requirement. That time I will read it more. Okay. So I have given this particular syntax. You can just go and read it more about this particular detail here. So this was actually yesterday. I have covered it, and I was trying to share you the notes. But what today we are going to do it, we were actually going to extend this particular operators. There are 7 operators. We actually have just covered only 3 right now. Okay. What are other operator we are going to cover today? So this was just actually all the kind of revision so that you will get it more familiar with the content. Okay. What was actually one thing here? Wait a minute. Yeah. So we were actually done this. Okay. We have done that. We have done that. Okay. And they were not talking about it. Identity, membership operator, bitwise operator. Let me just see where they will come. These are all the things which we already have covered in the slides. Logical operators, we have covered it. Data types, we have covered it. Boolean type, we have covered it. String data types. There are few things which they were talking about it. The square bracket will be used to actually access it. I told you earlier. If you try to access a square bracket 0, it will print it C value. 0 is a first index of the string. 1 would be the second index. It can go till the last. So that's the things they were talking about it here. This method is called the after square bracket, whatever you write it, this is called the indexing method. Okay. So this is one thing, concatenation. In Python string, it is called, they were just talking about it here. Okay, so it is not about the topic. I will be going into my string kind of, where I was declaring my string only. Okay, print string, and this you can say string details. Okay, string details, we were just talking about it, print string only. Wait a minute. Okay, so this was actually the way where we were talking about the string only. All the methods was actually to declare a string. How can we declare it with the double quotes, single quotes? How can we access it? Okay. And after that, how can we actually write the multi-line comments, multi-line string? This is the one method, and this is the second method with the double quotes. So this is actually the string which was actually requires the escaping sequence. So there are next thing they were just talk about it called concatenation. Okay, how can we do that? So this is actually, you can talk about it, concatenation. Wait a minute. Okay, so what you will do it in this, you actually have a suppose call first name. Okay, F name. Like I will just write my name only, guys. Okay, and last name. Suppose someone actually has middle name also. in my case, it's a space only. Okay. Someone put something. Up to now, we have covered in journal overview, right? We didn't visit next topic again. Right now, I'm doing the next topic. This is the next topic, concatenation. So these are the strings, and I wanted to print it my full name. So I will just say print. My name is. I wanted to print it all the name together. Okay. Just say here f name plus. Plus is a symbol which will be used for the string concatenation. Plus is a symbol to use for string concatenation. Means I can just say name equal to f name, okay, plus, just give me 1 minute, plus m name, okay, middle name, plus l name, okay. We can just do that this way. So this is actually my name is, I can directly say name here. F string, okay. You can use it. My name is Sanjay Kumar by just actually concatenating this name also. Okay. Or I would have actually done that if I do not wanted to do this way. What exactly happens? Suppose I will not be using my middle name. My name is like this only directly. I do not actually have a space. So what you will do in that case? You can just see right now. I do not actually have a space between the names. Okay. So what I should be doing it here, I would be adding the space symbol explicitly like this. You can just see I use the double quotes space, that is showing it it's an empty string which is actually having one space in between. So right now, this is the way I was able to concatenate the string. This was the first string, it's a second string. I was concatenating it. So make it the single string, new string I generated it actually called name, and I was able to print it. Okay. This is called the string concatenation. Any question in this? So concatenating means obtaining a new string that contains the both of the original string. You can use the plus operator to concatenate the string, like they were actually showing one example, career era courses. So they were putting the space over here and printing that particular string. This topic, I will cover it in the next set, not required right now. Yeah, this is also not required here. These two slides will be actually taken it later. Okay, so it's wrong. Okay, now they were talking about the Jupyter ID, which we are already using it. Jupyter ID can be used for the Python coding. Jupyter is a free open source interactive web tool that allow editing and running the file via the browser, web browser. To launch a Jupyter, open the terminal, navigate to the directory where you actually have saved your Jupyter notebooks. The type of command Jupyter notebook, the program will instantiate at the local server with this way. So how do you know that? Just see this here, localhost 888. When I was running it the first time, you can just see localhost 888 is actually port number. 888 is a port number. It is running the Apache services. On that, it will show you the directory. That is just for knowledge sake, but it is nothing regarding Python. Okay. So what are the data structures in the Python? They will directly switching to the data structure. Okay. They did not talk about the any smaller things. What are the conditional statement? What are the looping? They are directly jumping to the data. Data structures, which is really wrong. Okay. They are not going with the Synco. So I will just go with the Synco, what was here in the book. We have covered fully basics of the Python: data type, identifier names, printing, everything we actually have covered it, whatever is given over here in the Python. Okay. But there are few mistakes which is actually people do it usually. So they are trying to tell you how to do that. Okay. They were just actually trying to communicate what are the logical and physical line means. Like you have to understand it here. I equal to 5 and print I. This is actually on the first line. This is the second line. So this is actually called the physical separations. This was declared in the first line. This was declared in the second line. So this is actually, you can say, you can be effectively writing it something called semicolon after that. Semicolon. Also, it is actually the same. Also, sometimes you wanted to write both the statement together. You can write it separated by the semicolon. So Python interpreter knows this statement is ended here. And next statement is this one. Also, this is the same thing which they are trying to say. This statement ended here. Second statement is just like this here. Semicolon is not it's just actually a choice. Okay. If you wanted to specify more than one logical line on a single physical line, then you can explicitly specify by using the semicolon, which indicate the end of the logical statement. What does that mean? You are specifying name and this particular thing. I wanted to write name and age on the same line. It will give me the error. So I just wanted to tell Python interpreter my line ended over here. So I put it semicolon here. Okay. I can put it semicolon. It's not required. It's not mandatory because after that I am not writing anything. So if you do not put up semicolon here, it's also okay. But till this variable, it will tell Python this line is ended here. After that, it is going to the second line. So this is perfectly fine. Even if you put it another second semicolon here, that is also fine. Okay. If you do not want to put any semicolon, you will actually separate it with the two separate lines. So this is what actually they were trying to say in that particular book line, which they were just talking about it in this logical and physical lines. Okay. The very simple content which actually happen, this is also, I already told you, this is called the escape sequence. I already told you that. What is called the indentation? In the Python, if you made any mistakes by indentation, suppose like you specify this variable name here, age here, if you put it by mistake single space here, it is an error. Python, in the Python, there are no like other languages, other high level languages, okay? Other high level like C, C++ or Java. They separates the loop or conditions with doing the brackets indentations. Okay, like you are starting a bracket, closing the bracket, starting the if statement, ending the statement by the curly braces. But in Python, everything is managed by the spaces. Okay, so if you make that particular mistakes like this here, this is actually the mistakes because Python interpreter understand it. This statement is actually inside some if statement or inside some looping or something. So if it will find out this space, it will generate the error here. Unexpected indentations, indent. Okay. So you should not be doing the indent just like that. Everything should be starting from the same line. So you understand it. This is actually what the main thing in the Python. Everything is managed by the spaces, not curly braces. There are no curly braces inside the for loop, inside the classes, nothing. Everything is managed by the spaces. So most of the time, if I wanted to format it, I will use the tab spaces. Tab is just directly the 4 space. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is actually the tab. 4 spaces is actually considered actually as a tab. Some people actually also say when different developers are there, some people actually use it to use spaces. I always go to use it with the tab. Okay, so it's up to you what exactly you are trying to use it for the separations. We will be using those separations while we were doing the if statement, a looping or class, those things in the future we will learning it. Okay, so I was just trying to tell you where indentation will be used. So they were saying it, this is actually the error. Okay, you can just say unexpected indentation. So you have to remember these are the spaces. 4 spaces are actually used for the indentation. So 4 spaces is nothing but actually as a tab. Okay. So what exactly happened? They were saying it Python will use always indentation for the blocks and never use the braces. For run future import braces to learn more. So this was actually the all basic part of the Python. Now we will go to the operators and the expressions. Okay, this is the second chapter according to the book. But in that, what we actually have already learned the operators called arithmetical operators. Okay, so we have learned it plus, minus, asterisk, power, or you can call it exponential, divide, division. This is called floor division. We already actually have got it. Modulus, we have seen it. Now we will talk about this. Okay. Left shift and right shift operator. What they will actually call it, they are not writing it here correctly. Wait a minute. What minute? Oh, okay. They are not writing it correctly. No issue. This is called this bitwise operator comparison. Okay. I will just say bitwise operator. They were not doing it. Let me just do that. Okay. So this is what we are just going to use it, shift operators. Okay. In the same notes, I am just going to write it where I was just doing it, my operators here. Okay. So what is this called? This is called, you can just see the position. This is on the left side. So left shift operator. Second one is this one. This is called right shift operator. Am I correct? Just let me check. Wait a minute. This is left and this is right. Perfectly fine. So what is this funda over here? Now we will go to shift operators. After this. Okay, so what we are going to learn it, the very first position was for us, you can say left shift operators. Okay, what are the left shift operators? In general, what I wanted to tell you, suppose decimal number is what? Is 8. Number is equal to 8 value. So what would be in the 8 actually binary? Remember, this is actually the binary of the 8 value, 10000. If you do the left shift operators, so suppose I was representing this 8 integer value, this binary value in the 8 characters. So this is my value, right? 4 zeros and 110. What is the left shift means? From the left, you will be from the right, from the right, you will be pushing 0 into the number. So what exactly happened? Think about it. This was actually the number and this was actually the original number. Okay. This was the original number. Okay. And what exactly happened? You are pushing 0 from this side, from the right side. Okay. So what exactly happened? The number will be, this 0 will be actually come out, means it will be exited, and this number will be shifted towards this side. So I will just say this, this 0 would be deleted. So how many 0 will be left? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 zeros would be left. 1, 0, 0. And 1 0 is actually pushed to it. Okay. This 0 is actually pushed and that 0 is actually deleted. This 0 is deleted and this 0 is pushed because your system can actually only store the 8 digit. So it is storing the 8 digit right now. So what exactly happened if you just see the number of this? What is actually the value of this number in decimal value? This is a decimal value of 8. What is this value? This is actually decimal value of 16. So whenever we will do what is actually the conclusion here? Conclusion is this: whenever we do left shift on any binary number, it is what you call it? It is multiplied by 2. Okay. If number is 32, if you do the left shift, it will be 64. If number is 8, number became 16. If your number is 5, then it will not be exactly 10. Let me see this here. What was my number? My number was 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. This is actually the 5 value. So by default, actually left shift will multiply the number by 2. That is what actually it is. So this is my 5. When actually I will just do that, you can just check 0, 0, 0, 4, not 4. It would be 4, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. So that is actually value of 10. Okay. So by default, whenever we will do the left shift operation, it will be by default multiply by 2. So what exactly happened? Print number. I will just say before left shift operation, my number is whatever is the number, you can just type it actually number and the value is in the binary.
Sanjay, are you
Yes.
actually showing this as features of Python, or are we gonna apply all these things into our data science?
You are going to apply these are the operators. You should be learning it because these are the features somewhere they will be using it to compute the problem.
Okay.
Okay, so it is like the features. If somebody will be using that operator in the code, sometimes you are reading it, you did not know what is the purpose of that particular operator. Okay.
Right.
So sorry. So this was actually just a fundamental. What would be the number before shifting? After left shift operators, what would be my number? Okay. So what I am actually applying it now, number is equal to left shift operator by 2. Just give me 1 minute. Let me just check what is they are trying to do. I was correct. So if you do it number shift by 1, they are saving it somewhere. No, just 1 minute. They are directly giving the result. They should be saving it into another number. Okay, let me just do that. Result equal to this, and I am printing the result here. Okay, only one time I am doing it right now. The left shift means 1 0 would be inserted. So my value is 8. What would be my value now? 16. Sorry, I did not put the F string. Earlier it was 8. Now value is 16. If you do not want to print it actually as a binary, I can just print it actually as directly the value. Okay. This is actually 8 value and this is as 16 value. Okay. If you do it multiple times, you are doing it 2 times left shift. So what exactly happened? You are multiplying by 2, multiplying by 2. It means you are multiplying by the 4 value. So that would be 32 directly. Okay. You understand it? How many times of shift operations they are doing it? They are doing it 2 times shift operations. Okay. So how many times you will be doing it? That is multiply by that many times of 2. Okay, you are doing it 2 times, so 2 multiply
I can
by 2.
understand it on the number. 8 into 2 is 16. 16 again is multiplied by 2 and it becomes 32.
32.
But then this binary operation, right? Yeah, which is showing as 1000 and then 1 million. That you're just adding on zeros, is it?
They are pushing 0 on from the right side. So
okay.
Earlier it was 3. Right now, later when you do it 1, it became 4. Okay.
I got it. I got it now.
When you do it 2, so there will be 2 0 will be added. That is actually 32 value. If you just do it 4, it would be by default 128 value. So total 4 zeros are actually added. You can just see.
Okay.
Got
Okay.
it?
Thanks.
So that is actually just a fundamental about the left shift operations. Similarly, we can do it for the right shift also. This is a left shift operations. We can do it. So whatever I just actually showed you here, this is actually according to left shift operations. Okay, done. Yes, this is actually all left shift operations. Now we were going for the right shift, copy, paste. Okay, this is a right shift. In the right shift, what exactly happened? From the left, 0 would be pushed into the number. So what exactly happened? This was a previous number 8. When you push 0, already there was 4 0. So this became 5 0. Okay. And this 0 would be out. Okay. So what exactly happened? Number becomes 2 0 will be left here. Okay. So that value would be by default 4. This 100 means 4. So what exactly happened? Conclusion is whenever we will do the right shift operations on any binary number, it will be dividing by 2. Number would be always half. Okay. So before the right shift operation, number was 8. Okay. After doing the one time, the number became 4. You can just check it out after the right shift operations. Here. Okay. Right shift operations. What would be my values? So number earlier it was 8. Now it became 4. Because every time you are pushing it, this 0 is going out. Okay. So after, suppose you will do it 2 times, it value became 2 right now from the 8 to 2. Someone is asking, when you say a number is pushed from the left, you mean 0. Yes, 0 would be pushed always. I am just trying to say 0 will be pushed. When you do the left operation, I will just actually written it, Abdul. You can just see from the left, you will be pushing 0 into the number. Okay. Here also I wrote it from the right, you are pushing 0 into the number. Okay. Always 0 would be pushed. Okay. So this will be always dividing by 2. This is just a conclusion about the right shift and left shift operations. Okay. This is actually the fourth operators which we actually have learned it. There are still 2 more. This is called bitwise operators. There are many bitwise operator. One is called what you call it? These symbols. This is called OR. This symbol. This is called AND. Okay. This I will just write it. Bitwise logically OR. Okay. And this is bitwise logically AND. This is bitwise logical XOR. These are the only 3. Let me just see if there are more. These 2 are covered. Okay. Bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise XOR. Bitwise invert is there. Okay. 1 minute. This symbol is called bitwise invert. Okay. Now we are going to cover this topic. Going down after shift operations. Okay. This is actually what we are going to cover. We are going to cover bitwise operations, operators. Okay. In the bitwise operators, what are the operators? This is first operator is known as, I will just say AND OR operators. Okay. This is a bitwise operations, not the similar kind of logical operations. Okay. This is known as actually bitwise operations. Bitwise operations is called, this you call it bitwise OR operations, or you can call it, the symbol is called used for this is called the pipe symbol. Okay. So how do you do that? Suppose a value is there. What is actually a value is 4. I will just make it little bit bigger. Wait a minute. 30. It's 6. Okay. So first, before actually doing that, I will be just printing the number. What you call it? A is in binary. What is actually in the binary? I will be saving this actually as a 2-digit number. Okay. And number in the binary is actually what you are just going to print it A into a binary value. Okay. The same thing I will be using it for B also. Okay. So you can just see right now, I just declare two variable A and B. A is 32, B is 56. I printed their binary also here, okay? Because we are going to do the bitwise operation. Bit means this value. These are the values for the bitwise, okay? 0, 0. This is actually the positions where they are doing it. The very first operations which we are going to use it called bitwise operation called OR, okay? So very first operation is called bitwise OR, okay? So what exactly happened? Result is equal to A or B. This is called bitwise OR, okay? So what would be my result? The result value of bitwise OR of A and B is result, okay? But in the binary, or you can just call it actually as a result first, okay? And then printed the binary form of it so that you will understand it. What is my result value, okay? Okay. Now tell me something. Wait a minute. I do not understand binary as how 32 written is actually as a binary. Which one 32? 32 is converted actually as a binary this way. I told you whenever we will call it, I already actually have shown you here when I was printing about the number system. Here before this, I was printing the number system here. You can see 128 value in the binary was printed just like this here. Number colon B. When you use it B variable here after the colon, it will print the binary of that particular variable. If you put it O after that, that would be the octal value of the binary, of octal value of that particular decimal value. If you wanted to print the hexadecimal value for that particular number, you will be calling hex on that hex function. On the number, you will be printing the hex value. So we wanted to print the binary value of this, we will be using colon B value. I think so it actually answered your questions. I was actually here, okay? So 32 was represented with this particular binary value and 56 was converted into this particular binary value, okay? So what exactly we were doing it, logical OR means you will do OR operations, meaning is actually, OR means earlier we actually did it either of one bit is one, your results are the resulting bit will be 1. Either one of is 1 actually, your resulting bit will be 1, else 0. So you can just see this here. Right now, this is 1. So what would be my result if I am just talking this particular value? I am just copy pasting this so that I will just show you what would be my OR result before actually computer solve it. Okay. So my result would be by default, what would be the result? Yeah. Can you anyone tell me? This is 1 and that is 1. So my value would be here 1. Okay. This is 0. This is 1. Either of the two bit is actually 1. Result would be 1. Either of two result would be 1, result is 1. Both are 0, then result is 0. Both are 0, result is 0. Both are 0, result is 0. So this is the answer. When you do the bitwise OR of these two numbers, you will be getting this result, which is nothing but actually is the 56 binary. Okay. So if you just see result value of the bitwise A and B is this result. So I'm just going to do that 1 and this is my result. Result is 56 and that is the binary value of the 56. Okay. So you understand it how I was able to do the this is actually OR wise result. Okay. Okay. Now suppose you wanted to do with the AND wise result. Okay. So what would be the AND wise result? I told you this is actually OR wise. Now going with the AND wise. So what is actually AND wise AND operations? AND operation symbol was this symbol, AND operation symbol. So it AND means if both the bit are 1 only, then result bit is 1, else 0. Okay. It means both should be actually 1. So result would be A and B. This is a bitwise AND operations I am doing it. So this is a result value of the bitwise result value of the bitwise OR operations of A and B. This is bitwise AND operations of A and B. Okay, so this was actually the bitwise OR operation. So AND-wise, what exactly is happen? AND-wise bitwise operations. So what exactly happen? You can just see this here result. Both should be 1, only then resulting value would be 1. Otherwise, everywhere it's a 0. Both should be 1, only then result would be 1. Otherwise, everywhere, every bit will be computed by bitwise and you are getting it 0 value. So this is nothing but actually is a 32 only. This value is exactly just like 32. So this my result would be 32. Bitwise operation of AND result is 32. Okay. Because you are doing it, if both the bits are 1, only then result bit is 1, else 0. This is actually AND-wise operations. Okay, AND bit operations. Now, third would be XOR operations. This is called bitwise XOR operation. Okay, XOR operation is called with the caret symbol. Okay, this is XOR. XOR means if both bits are opposite, then result is 1, else 0. Okay, so this is actually the symbol we will be using it, and this is actually the symbol bitwise XOR operation. Okay, so before doing this XOR operation, I will just go there, and what we are going to do that we are just going to compute XOR. So what is actually I meant it, if both the opposite bit should be the opposite, actually 1 is actually the same, so my result is 0. This is 0, this is 1, means it's opposite width. Okay, so the result should be 1. These are 0 and 1. Third bit actually this is 0 and this is 1. So I will just say answer would be 1. Both are 0, so it means result is 0. So this is actually the answer for XOR. XOR means both should be opposite, only then resulting bit would be 1. Okay, these are the same, so you got it 0 bit. These are opposite, you got it 1 bit, 1 bit, 1 bit. So this is the value of 8 and this is the value of 16. So it would be approximately 24. Answer should be 24. Let's see. Answer is 24. This is actually the value 11000. This is actually the answer for the bitwise XOR operation. Okay, so you can just see this is actually I just used it for the you can say understand for learning of bitwise operation. Okay, so for that actually I was just doing it. This is actually XOR. If for individual you can just compute it, whatever operation you wanted to do that for that. Okay, so this is actually nothing but your coding. Just actually I used it actually as a not you can say Python indentation or Python code. Okay, so my another funda was here called bitwise negation. That is the fourth part. Okay, fourth bitwise operator. Bitwise not operation. Okay, not operation or negate. Okay, which will be symbol with this particular symbol called this tilde. Okay, this is called tilde, I think so. Okay, tilde symbol. So what is this means called? It is called, you can call it actually negation. Negate means change the, like you can say it will be change the bit if 1 is there to 0, 1 to 0 and 0 to 1. Okay, so it will be only done with the only on the one character, not with two letters. Okay, you are doing it the negating the A value. So A was earlier was how much? Just see this here. I'm gonna do it. A was this value and you are trying to do that negate operation. Okay, negate operation. So what would be the my value here? 1 becomes 0, 1 1 1 1, total 5 or 6, total 5. Okay, so this would be the negation of the negation operation. Okay, so 32 would be, this is actually I think so it would be 31 or something. Let's see. Okay, so I just did the negation of A. So the negate, bitwise negate operation of A is, okay, and this is actually the result. Let's see, minus 33. Okay, why they were saying it minus 33? Okay, number A is, A was by default 32. is minus 33. So this is what actually they were doing it. So negate operation is doing not only this actually here. This is actually just only the negation operation, but they will be converting this negation into the 2's complement or something by adding 1 and putting it into the negations. Okay, so they are just directly doing it the 2's complement or something. Let me just check it out the detail if they were just doing it. In a bitwise inversion is x is minus x plus 1. Bitwise invert of this is nothing but actually computing minus x plus 1. So x was actually earlier 32. So this become minus 32 or minus 33. They are just actually trying to represent with this binary. Okay. But negation means actually whatever is there, you are just trying to put up the 1 to 0, 0 to 1. That is what I meant it. So this was actually this operators which was covered by this bitwise operators. All bitwise operators was covered. Now these are actually called comparison based operators. Okay, these are the 6 operator, I think so. This is logical odds are actually already covered. This is a comparison based operator. Just 1 minute. I'm just going to the slides. Identity operator, I was not getting it. Membership operators, not getting it. Bitwise operator covered. Now we were covering this comparison operator. I do not know what is that means. Okay, so we will going to cover the another operator called comparison operators. I'm going to write again in the my here. So you understand it. These are the bitwise negate. Okay, and now we are going to use it comparison based operators. What are there in the Python? You know, this is called greater than. This is called less than. This is called equal comparison. Okay, and this is called not equal. Anything else? After this here, greater than equal to. Less than equal. These are the just operators which we are going to learn it today here. Okay, in the comparison operators. Okay, so I think so after that our operators are already done. I will just need to compare and show this particular results. Okay, so when we were working on this bitwise operation, I was just doing this here. So copy paste. Okay, after this here, we are going to use it called comparison based operators. Okay, so operators. So what we are going to use it here, we are going to use comparison based operator. The very first one is called greater than. Okay, which is nothing but this here. So this for this we actually already have declared this variable a and b. Okay, let me just do that cut here. Okay, ab is declared here. Now we are going to use it the comparison based operator, printing the result. So I was saying it what they are trying to do. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. Print a is greater than b. Okay, what you can say, you can just, you are using this particular operator. So a is greater than b, it's a false condition, so you will be getting the result actually as false, right? Next, if you just able to use it, this is a symbol call. Okay, next one is called print a is greater than. You can use it, this operator also, greater than equal to. That is again the false value. Print There is another operator called less than value. A is less than B, right? And there is a spacing. There is no problem. Python syntax will actually even read it if you do not put up the space. Okay. This is also fine. This is a less than operator. A is less than B. This is true, and this is less than equal to also true. Just check it out. The result, all four. Okay. By first two are false. These two are correct. Okay. And the first one was print A double equal to B. That is also false. Print A is not equal to B. That is true. You can just see this here. These are just actually the operators which we will be testing it with the if condition in future. But these are the operators we will be using it. When you wanted to say A is equal to B, so you are just comparing both the variables. Okay. So this is equal, comparing both the variables as equal. This is comparing both the variables are not equal. That's the reason you are getting the true result. So these are just actually the operator. We will be using it more into the, what you call it, at the time of comparisons. Okay. So you understand it. What are these operators? These are the just all 6 operators which we will be using it in future. It's already 8:26. If anyone actually has any question, you can ask it. We are going to the second chapter only, and I already have covered all the operator which was actually given in this particular chapter. But like they were just showing it. There are some shortcuts which I can actually also cover it out. Like simple, these shortcuts are there. I think so for this document, this is more than enough. I am not going to put up more information in this one. Okay. So this document I will again reshare with you guys. Okay. I will be just using the new document for maybe the tomorrow class. Okay. From the notes to what are these in the notes to, we will be writing it. We will be writing it the second chapter, or you can just say this is actually the operators we actually already have covered. There are many more things, evaluation and these kind of things which we will need to learn it. After that, my second chapter is over. Then we will be talking about the control flow is called conditional statements and these things which we will be learning it tomorrow class. Okay. That would be conditioning and the looping and those things will come over here. Then I think so you will actually, once you know till this position, okay, you will be able to write the code. Only you need to cover these 3 chapters, basic, operators and control flow. Then we will start giving you the assignments. Okay. But right now still we are learning the operators, and I will be giving very small assignments like multiply 2 variable values, take 2 value from the user and just multiply and give me the result. That kind of codings. Okay. But for today, I think so we will actually end it up over here only. 2 minutes are left. I will just show you one simple examples here. Suppose in Python, we will be taking the numbers, taking the input from users. Okay. For that, it's called inbuilt function is there. Inbuilt function is there, which is known as actually as input function. Okay. So what exactly happened? How you will be using that particular thing? Suppose you wanted to take a number called number 1. You are wanted to use the input from user and print the number. Okay. You can say this is your, I think so it would be your week. This is the second class. You can just say, consider it actually Muhammad Rumi. Okay. Because I actually revised it, everything in this, the very first document, whatever actually I have covered it, I have covered it again here. So it's actually the same thing. Okay. What I wanted to tell you, see this here, this is actually input function, which is actually just asking user to give the number, and that number I am printing it. Just see, this is actually when I click it, it is waiting for my input. I just entered 54, enter, it printed that particular input. You can just say, I will just write it here. The input number is, you just printed this number. Okay, whatever you actually entered it. So if I will just again enter 32, it will be entered here. But there is a problem in this. Okay, what are the problem? I just wanted to tell you because you are going to write it in the first assignment. Problem with this, problem with the input function is, whatever input you take, user enter, it will be always returned by input function as string. So what exactly happened? This number is not an integer value, it's a string value. How do I know that? You can just see this here, print type of num variable. Okay, I'm printing it what is actually returned by this input function. Can I tell the what is the type of it? It is an integer class or the string class. You can just check it out. My class is right now what it is saying. My data is